Welcome to the Kleo recap. Abandoned by her mother at a young age, Kleo is taken in by Otto, her grandfather and a high-ranking 1st Division Stasi officer, placed into socialist teachings and taught that East Germany was the only Germany. She was forced to lose connections to Jorge. She was then elected as an unofficial member of the 18th Division, used in undercover and off-the-book missions. In 1987, she is sent to Big Eden in the west. Hit on by a smug man, she brushes him off and attracts the target, ending his life in the bathroom. She escapes into the night, back through the tunnels to the east, meeting comrades Wolf and Uwe. After a successful mission, they go back to their apartment, where after some canoodling, Kleo admits that she is pregnant. Surprised, they are happy for their new life. The next day, she visits Otto on his birthday, gifting him a new boombox and having a little dance break. Skipping home, Kleo bumps into a bold man. Thinking nothing of it, she shows up at her cover job as a waitress, but she is arrested, held in contempt for treason. Handing the files to the bold spy in the west, calling for her grandfather and her superiors for help, she discovers that they all testified against her. Kleo is imprisoned indefinitely for treason. Trying to stick up for another prisoner, she is beaten. She loses her child and the ability to give birth. 3 years pass. The West and East conflicts have subsided, becoming a unified Germany. All political prisoners are ordered to be released, including Kleo. Her first visit is home, or Thelo's home. A Westerner can steal a vacant apartment if they pay rent for 3 months. Retrieving her gun, and after a serious talk, she retrieves her files from the archives. Visiting Otto, he explains that the higher-ups forced him to do it, giving her a book to read. On impulse, she kills him, burying his body and the book. Next up is Wolf. Pretending to be a part of the housing association, she meets his pregnant wife, Angie. He promises to help her and she spares his life. Her boss, Lieutenant Waxorek, is already dead. Investigating to find a postcard sent by Ramona, a comrade that she never met, so she interrogates his best friend, finding out that after their division got disbanded, he moved to Mallorca with his wealth to start a new career. She flies there, torturing Waxorek's security guard and feeding him her favorite meal, mustard and eggs. Pretending to be a newly widowed that has moved in nearby, invited over for dinner, she steals a coat, planting a small bomb inside the coat, placing it back inside the closet at night, watching them sleep. She extracts everything she can through some coercion that the creator of the division, Minister Eric, wanted her removed. She implodes him and returns to the east. Only knowing Thilo, she pulls him over to sleep together. Yes, sleep together. The smug guy was found out to be a police officer, Fenn in the west. Because this death occurred under his watch, he kept on investigating it, which led him to Kleo. She warned him once and spared his life, but he kept trying to catch her, losing his job in the process. After the division absolved, Erich's crimes came out and he was imprisoned. Kleo gets to him by poison. Transported to the hospital, Erich pleads that Otto had actually ordered it. She ends him before being caught, realizing that the book must have had something in it, a letter, explaining that Otto needed to remove her because she didn't kill the CIA chief, but someone that was carrying important information on powerful people. Kleo partners with Fenn, with access to the police bureau, convincing him to help out, and he agrees to figure out why she was unjustly imprisoned, arguing with his wife for always disappearing on the Stasi assassin case, and not having a job to pay the bills. She takes his car, so Sven and his trusty friend Freddy go through the police archives on the death at the night of Big Eden, noticing that the tag has a number on it. Visiting the luxurious designer store for more suits, they apply immense amounts of pressure, and the chance that the owner will be charged for filming clients change. He reveals his secret collection. The guy murdered had a red suitcase with him and was stern about anyone trying to move it. In the meantime, an intelligence agent, Anne, shows up asking for Otto. The interaction turns odd and Anne barely makes it out. Wolf reports that Uwe is going to be sent to kill her, as she has been causing too much trouble. Caught on foot, he knocks her out. Sven arrives in time to save her, scaring off Uwe's partner. Whilst knocked out, Kleo is reminded of a red suitcase throughout her life. This suitcase, she presumes, holds the documents used to blackmail the powerful figures. They dispose of Uwe by augmenting the scene into a suicide that happened in the vehicle. Looking at a photo in her house, Sven recognizes the partner as Wolf. They visit Wolf for more answers. His struggle is futile, bullets swapped out for blanks in the past. Told about a double agent in the BND that told Otto about the suitcase, but she never got in contact with the red suitcase, meaning that she was working with another agent. Just as he is about to reveal everything, Angie, or Ramona, kills him. She isn't sanctioned to kill the others, so she exits. They return home, coming to the conclusion that the only double agent could be Anne, because she visited the house trying to get in contact with Otto. At the B&D, Anne is given a presentation on the findings about Kleo and the investigation into the red suitcase. Min Sun, her subordinate, is getting suspicious of Anne. At the night of the Big Eden assassination, a receipt was submitted into the archives, directly by Anne, meaning she was there on the night. Weary of this, she speeds home, fast to burn the illegal documents tying her to any crimes, and intercepted by Kleo and Sven. dare to question her about being a double agent and being one of their comrades. She hates their division for their arrogancy, and it divulges into a fight. Fenn is pincered and Kleo tosses her off the edge, igniting herself on the fireplace and dying as a result. They search the place for the year 1987, finding the 1987 Chile book, including Comrade Jorge, who Kleo knows all too well. His home is located in Spain, so they decide to buy tickets at home. When now Thilo is missing, he and his best friend Dopey have decided to open a disco techno club, stealing all of Cleo's assassination money. He arrives home to inform them about this, apologetically, and the nice guy he is, he gives them a portion of Cleo's money back. They purchase tickets for Majorca, Spain. Kleo decides to leave Fenn behind, but already in too deep, he convinces her to let him continue, assuming that she loves him. At this point, Fenn's wife, Jenny, has mostly given up on their marriage, believing the Stasi spy is a myth, and she has started sleeping with his friend Freddy, that treats her better. They track Jorge to his mansion, knowing he has connections to the red suitcase. Kleo pretends to inform them about the minister's death. Margaret explains that Jorge has passed for a while now, but she spots the male jacket and concludes that she is lying. Leaving this conversation, she catches back up with him on the roof. Threatened with death, he reluctantly agrees, until she is choked out by Margaret. Jorge flees by the front door, followed by Fenn. He is distracted and crushed by a truck. Inside, Kleo grabs the spare knife on the table and kills Margaret, receiving a call to meet at a cafe for more information on the red suitcase by Ramona. Their plan is when she meets with Ramona, Fenn will go to the hotel that the GBR always book for them, and more or less bribe his way into Ramona's room, searching through all of her items to discover the map that indicates where the red suitcase is. Meeting with Ramona, she pricks her finger on the door. They converse about their lives and how Kleo won't kill a pregnant woman. They take a coffee break. Ramona talks about a poison and how only a small slit would take only 30 minutes to kill her, as she makes out with the waitress and leaves Kleo to die. Spotting Ramona leaving the cafe, he rushes in. Fenn tries to wake up Kleo and ends up killing the waitress. She mutters poison and he rushes her back to the hotel, where he injects her with the medicine they have. Luckily, it manages to save her. With the map, they embark on the way to the red suitcase. On the way, they spot Ramona. On a long chase through the mountains, long grass fields, their car flips and gasoline starts to pour out whilst they are trapped. Ramona starts to ignite a lighter, but her water breaks. Escaping the vehicular contraption, Kleo decides to help give birth, as Fenn takes off to reach out for help. She gives birth to a girl. With a child, Ramona gains a new perspective on life and leaves the Stasi life behind. They retrieve the red suitcase in the mountains. The documents explain that President Reagan and the Honeckers made a deal. Basically, they traded weapons to their enemies during the Cold War era. If the documents were released, it could create an uprising for the US and Germany. Miss Honecker requests a deal. She will give Kleo her mother's address if she hands over the documents, and she obliges after some screaming and admitting she finally did something for herself. They go visit Brigitte. Catching her at the front door, she instantly recognizes her daughter. She wanted them to live a life out of the socialist lifestyle. When she spoke up, Otto got her locked up. She has built a new life, and even though she thinks of Kleo often, she doesn't want anything to change her new life. Kleo gets back to the car, realizing her love for mustard and eggs came from her mother's scent. With the full truth and being heartbroken, they return home. Failing at cigarette throws and drinking all night, they consume the forbidden apple and commit sin. In the morning, Kleo regrets giving up the suitcase. Fenn mutters that they didn't. He unravels the fact that he had been in contact with the BND the entire time, specifically Min Sun, running into each other when they were investigating her, making a deal for himself. Min Sun swaps out the suitcase at the airport, arriving for it to be filled with toilet paper. She chases him across the field, firing shots into the air to scare him off. Miles away, Min Sun hands over the red suitcase to the US, being paid for her mission, and Yue isn't fully dead. This is where the series ends. Make sure to subscribe, and for more, watch this.